Welcome to my home. Enter freely of your own will and leave some of the happiness you bring.
Count Dracula?
I am Dracula.
So this time out, I've come to the spiritual home of Dracula, the village of Cruden Bay.
The Irish writer Bram Stoker would regularly travel here on his holidays, spending about a month or so at a time at the Kilmarnock Arms Hotel, affectionately known as the Killie Arms. And this is where he started writing the opening chapters of Dracula back in 1895. Nearby New Slade's castle is also said to provide some inspiration for Castle Dracula, but we'll get there in a second. This is what Slains looked like back in its heyday. Safe to say it's a wee bit less glamorous these days. Now, if you want to go and have a wander up to the castle, you've got a couple of options. You can park in Port Errolston, or there's a car park on the road between the village and Stirling Village, but I'm going to warn you this now, it gets really busy really quickly.
So it's the start of October. I'm on my way up to Slains Castle, and this is mad. I could have got away with t-shirt and shorts today. It's absolutely roasting. Prove to me that global warming doesn't exist when in Scotland it's October, we're still wearing shades, and everyone's out in t-shirt and shorts. I've had to de-jacket, that's how warm it is. Anyway, I've managed to get a parking space, so time to go and explore Slains Castle, which is just over there.
The castle's right on the coast and provides some amazing backdrops, although I wouldn't be getting too close to the edge personally. The grounds also come with the world's most pointless gate. I mean, honestly, what's that shutting out or keeping in?
Even Martin Roberts would have a hell of a time trying to sell this place on Homes Under the Hammer, wouldn't he?
Something for your mind, your body, and your soul.
As much as you joke about it being a fixer-upper, there were a few attempts over the years to restore Slains to its former glory. Even as recently as 2004, plans were circulating to turn the ruin into luxury holiday accommodation or flats. The idea got as far as securing planning permission from the local council, but then the recession helped to resign that idea to the bin. You know what, it's not difficult to see why you'd want to live or visit here. You get the perfect window to the sea, just minus glazing. Now, I mentioned earlier the inspiration for Castle Dracula. At the very centre of Slains Castle lies the octagonal hall. This is said to have inspired the octagonal room in Castle Dracula. There's no concrete proof, however there's an interesting excerpt from the novel, A Vast Ruined Castle, from whose tall black windows came no ray of light, and whose broken battlements showed a jagged line against the moonlit sky. The castle stood, reared high above a waste of desolation. Bearing in mind where Slains Castle's set, that kind of feels kind of familiar, doesn't it?
I think I've actually managed to get some peace and quiet here. It's great. I mean, this would have looked a lot different back in the day that Bram Stoker was dreaming up Dracula. No wonder he was inspired to write when you'd had roaring fires, presumably. You'd have had a roof as well. It'd be perfect.
There's been a building on this particular site since about the 16th century, when the 9th Earl of Errol constructed a tower house here. And over the years it's been extended, expanded, repurposed. But then in 1916, the 20th Earl of Errol had enough, sold the property, which at that point ended some 300 years of family occupation. So John Ellerman, he was a shipping company owner. He became the proud owner of the castle, but he never actually visited. So it was sold again in 1922 to a Dundee-based demolition company. They bought Slains Castle and then placed an advert in the local paper, the Press and Journal, advertising the demolition of Slains Castle. They listed various items for sale, battens, flooring, slates, doors, windows, baths. Pretty much everything was put up for sale, including the kitchen sink. One rumour that did the rounds was that the demolition company had taken away the roof to avoid paying roof tax. That's just rumour. They wanted to weigh in the slate and lead and make some extra money, so that's pretty much what Charles Brand Limited did. They bought up old Scottish castles, demolished them, and made money from the sale of, you know, the brickwork, the roofs, the slate, the lead. Something I doubt they'd get away with these days.
There we go. It's been a little while, but Slains Castle, done and dusted. I mean, the last 3 times I've been here, we've ended up working on the van and I've not managed to get near. Thanks as always for watching. If you're looking for somewhere to try and brave at Halloween, there are definitely worse places. There are probably slightly less eerie places as well. Definitely recommend it. Just make sure you get here with plenty of time to try and fight for a parking space. Anyway, if you haven't done it already, I'd really appreciate a quick subscription. It takes 2 seconds to do, and I'll find more stuff like Slains Castle to go and explore. Thanks for watching, and yeah, catch you soon.